over here, I clear this frame, right? I get my underhook and I'm hanging out here. Now, a lot of times this guy will have this frame in here under my hip, okay? So we'll work with that. Now, from this position, right, I'm holding the arm. I wanna look for any opportunity to catch his wrist. So he's pushing on me here, right? I can turn and catch that wrist, right? Even if his hand's in deeper, like protecting his neck up here, right? I can always kind of come up and find his wrist here. So I want to get my hand on his wrist. At the same time, I'm going to lift my hips a little bit and I'm going to pull up here and get my knee to his shoulder, right? With this, like here, a lot of times he'll be pulling it out. Sometimes he'll be pushing here, like framing here. This is a great place to catch the wrist too, right? If he's pushing on my hip, trying to move me down this way, right? So I want to get into this sit out position where I have his wrist here, and then now I want to go over and catch his arm, okay? So the idea is to try to get him in what we call a crucifix, a topside crucifix, from here where I catch his arm between my legs, and I have his other arm here, okay? So once I have control of this arm, right, he's got this arm to frame on, which is great. If he starts pushing on me, right, I can lift, grab this, sit through, and then take this over. Once I have this over, I'm not gonna just pinch my knees together. I wanna push this knee towards his head. See how his shoulder comes up, right? And then I wanna bring this knee back and down to see how his elbow goes down. So now he's got this little weird bend to him. That's what I wanna create, because now it's very hard for him to extract that arm, right? If I'm here, he can start to wiggle out and there's a lot of room to turn. Here, less room to turn. While I'm doing that, I'm kind of holding right here. Now, once I have him in this position, right, I don't want his head flat on the floor. I want to start to, see how as I pull this leg back, that can make his head light, and now I can pull his head up. And whenever his head's up, I don't want to have his head in line with his spine. I either want to pull his head this way or drive his head this way towards his shoulder, right? I'm going to be making him miserable right here, just moving his head back and forth, because he's going to be bucking and squirming and stuff. So if he wants to go this way, I'll pull him this way. If he wants to go that way, I'll put, I'll sort of mess with his whole world right from this crucifix position, right? And once I have this arm turned, it's a matter about getting this wrist, right, boom, stepping over, and then creating this leverage here over the arm, okay? And then from there, start messing with his head. Cool, so let's get into that crucifix position and, yeah, make our partners uncomfortable for a little bit. Okay, 3 claps, 1, 2, 3.